Hey there, it's me, Pin, the one who's pitching this to Ben and Chad. Just wanted to pop in really quick and shout out to DBM and everybody who helped me with the art, and my good friend Saul, who gave me a really amazing script, and Gary, who actually made the matchup and made a really good blog for it, too. Um, Ben and Chad seemed to really enjoy the matchup. We did not get to really talk about all the details and the characters really well because we didn't have enough time, but we talked the matchup itself we talked about a lot, and like the fight potential and the interaction and the story and things like that, which I think are very important. If you want more details about like the matchup itself, then I would recommend going to the writers video and watching that. We get into way more detail than this one. This was just to sell them on the idea of it. And sorry that the recording is so bad. I didn't realize that OBS wasn't capturing Ben and Chad themselves. You can still hear them, don't worry, but you just can't see their faces. If you are unfamiliar with the matchup or you're unsure about these characters being on Death Battle and you're unsure about the matchup in general, then I recommend just giving this pitch a chance. I think you might really appreciate it by the end, hopefully. If you don't, then that's fine too. As long as you give me a shot, then I will be perfectly happy. And if you come out of this enjoying it, then, well, welcome to my side. But besides that, enjoy the pitch. Hopefully you do. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, really quick, do you have any familiarity with these characters at all?
I do
This
not.
is Omori and Room.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Alrighty, guys. Well, I'll
Let's
help
go.
as best I can. This was the warning for the recording. Alrighty, so
Warning.
Yeah, no, that's good.
really quick for you guys and for anybody watching, Omori and Room has very dark stories with mentions and depictions of depression, anxiety, and suicide. So just trigger warning for that. And also big spoiler warning. I'm going to spoil Ben and Chad, but I'd recommend playing the game.
We're used to it.
Watching the show. Yeah. You're going to get spoiled.
So
I'm sorry, guys.
This is a death battle about some dark stuff,
Yeah,
I'm assuming.
But also can have cool stuff.
All right.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Cool.
So,
Ooh.
Omori, the god of headspace versus Room, the devil of the complex.
I'm already creeped out. All right, let's go.
So, who's Omori? Omori is the 2020s hit new RPG, Undertale off, that kind of stuff. Very similar to those kind of things. Omori is essentially the mental manifestation of the main protagonist, Sunny's trauma, repression, and depression. He was created from Sunny isolating himself for years due to his sister's unfortunate passing. Omori's main mission as a character and his main goal is to keep Sunny safe and keep the truth hidden inside of Sunny's headspace at all times. In the game and in the narrative, Omori started off as a seemingly innocent, childlike baby game, but it slowly shifted into something more sinister, and the character also shifted into something more sinister. His goal of keeping the truth hidden and keeping Sunny in headspace, it got really dark. If you want a really simplified version of who Omori is, think of Kara from Undertale mixed with James from Silent Hill 2. That's the best way to think about it. Who's Sunny? Sunny is our true protagonist, and he exists in the real world. He's very emotionally broken, as you could tell from his face. He's very nothing. He has a mother. He's fatherless, and he had a sister. Overcome with trauma and repressions and memories. During the game's timeline, during the final days as he is about to leave his childhood home and childhood town, he needs to make amends with past memories and past friends to right the wrongs that he did. Omori has multiple endings in the game, but the main one is him overcoming the trauma that happened with his sister and overcoming Omori, which we will talk about a little bit more. Is that, you guys understand?
Yeah, got it.
Perfect. So what can Omori do? Omori, being in control of essentially a dream space, kind of like Freddy Krueger, if you think about it. He has immortality, emotional manipulation. He's immune to fear. He can teleport. He can banish other people. He has realistic red hands that could sprout from his back. You'll get a better view of it a little bit. It's really creepy. He has precognition. He's able to see the future. He has reality warping and full control over headspace and all the characters in it. So when Omori comes into a versus sense, you're not fighting just Omori. You're fighting every character in the game Omori, essentially. He can fight all of them. And also, he has the ability to turn somebody to toast when he kills them.
Great.
Don't
Okay.
don't ask me.
Do you eat the toast? Is
No,
it an item in the game?
It's like Headspace is like supposed to be like a fantasy world where things don't like really die, so you just turn
Sure.
into toast instead of dying.
Got it. Well, I mean, we already have the boomstick pun for whoever wins. It's their toast, obviously, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the main group of characters who helps Omori battle. We have Aubrey, Kel, and Hiro. Basil is the boy in the middle with the green hair. He'll fight occasionally, but he's not really a fighter. Each have their own variety of skills, strengths. They're not as strong as Omori in terms of like the reality warping stuff, but like they're pretty skilled and strong fighters. And they can add to like the animation, of course. Aubrey's the brute. Hiro is a healer, and Kel can turn into a nuke. He like you basically build him up during the fight, and he can hit really hard. And Mari is dead.
So is this like a party like RPG essentially? And like the idea is
Okay.
you control all the characters at once. So Omori would be all these characters at once in the death battle?
Yeah, so like primarily in animation, you could bring every boss and every character into the fight, but I think like if you want to limit it, just have it be Aubrey.
Well, I mean, from the matchup perspective, like, is the idea that all of these characters essentially is this a team battle? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, since you're saying that he has access to all these different things, like you're like these are like the ones to focus on.
Yeah, if you guys were to like to do it, you don't want to like do like a crazy huge thing. I'd focus on these characters.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
What is Headspace? So on the left here, this is what the primary world looks like. It's basically just a fantasy world where Sunny's mind has basically interpreted itself in the best possible way. So every character, every single thing is a caricature of themselves in the real world. Like Sunny would be by a trash can, there'd be a whole world full of trash, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's multiple layers to Headspace. This black one here in the middle is called Black Space. So I talked earlier about Omori banishing things. This is the place he banishes like bad characters and bad people too. It's basically just a place of pain and nightmares and horribleness. On the right here is the red realistic hands I was talking about that Omori has. That's called Red Space. Essentially, it's like a final move that he does to keep control of everything. Because he's like a puppeteer. That's why the red hands. And you probably notice the stuff down here, and you're like, well, what's this? This is the truth that Omori in like entire Headspace is trying to keep hidden from Sunny during the narrative of the game. Essentially, what happened is Sunny and his sister Mari got into an argument. He pushed her down the stairs, and she died. Basil came and was like, "Hey, no, I can't lose you. I can't do this." And then they faked her suicide. So everybody in the narrative thinks that she died by that.
Yeah, I don't think we need to dive into the story and whatnot of Omori and Room, but like I want to hear about this matchup. Like, what are we talking about in terms of the matchup? Why the matchup is impressive?
Oh, sure, we could skip to that. Just give me a second.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that at the time we have, we want to hear really want to hear why you're excited about this matchup, cool things that you would want to see, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of the potential itself, Omori and Room are pretty much the same character in terms of mental antagonists who like psychologically corrupt the main character and try to hurt them. So the fight is pretty crazy. So it's an entire universe versus one guy. They're both
okay.
Yeah, they're both multiversal reality warpers who can shake their entire like cosmologies and things like that. In terms of the fight itself, it could start with Room going into Sunny's headspace. It could start as a 4v4 as just like another typical boss in the terms of the Omori universe. And slowly transitioning after Room can deal with the other three pretty easily into a psychological reality battle of a will of dominance. And why I like it so much is because I think it plays into the strengths of both characters a lot, where not only are they like emotionally and story and character-wise like very similar, they also contrast pretty heavily because Omori is essentially, he is the opposite of what Room is. He's a being of protection and like sadistic tendencies, and Room is a devil who is essentially good at heart. So I think that like kind of dynamic can be really interesting in terms of like interactions and things like that.
That's cool.
And also,
so is the idea that it takes place within like where's this headspace? Is it like
So
for the matchup, would it be like Omori's headspace,
yeah, it would
or
be
would it
Omori's
be?
headspace because Room and his abilities, he's able to travel to different characters' headspaces. He can go
Okay.
into other characters
Okay.
like cosmologies. He's done that before, so it actually makes sense that Room would just enter here because Omori is like the thing he would hate the most because there's a character in Boys Work called the Angel who does the same thing that Omori does, and Room and him are at very hard odds.
Okay. So totally understand the start of the fight. Got it. Cool. Also, man, these art styles together would be awesome. Like that. Like the fight could look real cool.
That's a big thing with the matchup is like it could be in any style. It could be in sprite, 2D, 3D, even live action if you really wanted to try to do it. It plays into the strengths of like the different kinds of art styles the games have. It's really, really cool. Yeah. Yeah, Omori, like the animation can insane. Like Omori can throw planets at Room and he can Asura's Wrath it, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I like most about it is probably the story. With Omori and Room, both of them grew as characters during the course of their stories. They started off as repressed and sad and miserable and lonely, but as their stories went on and as they faced their demons, they slowly grew to understand that they couldn't live in their fantasy worlds anymore. They couldn't live with their pain and their trauma and relying on Room and Omori specifically. Oriel is like he's the Sunny for Room basically. I think what would be really cool is if during the final clash, like whoever was the winner, I think that no matter what, you should have Sunny and Oriel meeting each other in a white space because the fight would be like violent and pretty vitriolic in terms of dialogue. They're both very volatile characters in terms of like how they talk. Room is more of a yapper than Omori is, but I think it could be
bringing in that sort of positive influence at the end.
Yeah, because
essentially
during like their character arcs, Room would be the good guy in this scenario, basically. He would see Sunny.
The demon, right? Yeah. The demon who's good at heart. Yeah.
Which that's why I like the matchup a lot. I think it'd be really cool if Room and Oriel saw Sunny basically going the same path as he did because he's basically the adult version of Omori, and coming to the realization that this like this person can't just like die, like he can't like destroy Omori or Sunny. He needs to reach him on more of an emotional level. So he would try to be more of like a positive influence, trying to talk Omori and Sunny into like giving up, basically. Not like giving up, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, ending it. Yeah.
Because the thing with like
finding a way to end it. Yeah.
The problem with a lot of people have with Omori and Death Battle and Versus in general is they don't like the idea of Sunny dying. That to them is pretty icky, and I kind of understand that. So I think this matchup can come to a good compromise where you don't have to kill. Like Omori could still like be killed and erased without the story being sacrificed. You know what I mean?
So Sunny would be at risk because they're a part of Omori's like room, essentially, not room, headspace, and so everything at there is at risk because Omori can control everything there, essentially.
Yeah, so that's why they clash towards the end of their game, like Omori and Sunny's, because Sunny's trying to move on, but Omori is like, no, you are terrible and you cannot move on. That's why they clash. And basically, Room and Oriel are just like that. I also have an animation here for the match.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That'll be a great thing to end on. Let's do it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Ooh, that's fun. Who made that?
That was by Maple Riot.
Okay.
He's also making a 2-minute version too, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I sent you guys through email like the cast thumbnail and the blog and the script for this. If you guys are more interested in checking it out, since we didn't have a ton of time here.
Love it.
Yeah.
Also send this presentation if you're up for it. Over to there
totally.
as well.
There's another. There's like just one more thing I want to talk about, and we could be done.
Yeah, no problem.
There's
all good.
Yeah. So people had a problem with Boysvert because it's kind of such like a more personal story for the character. I actually got the creator of Boysvert support of the matchup. This will be for your guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah. He's okay with Boysvert and Room on Death Battle. He hasn't seen Death Battle, so I sent him a few, and he liked them. So yeah, you guys can read this in your own time if you are like feeling like, I don't know if this character should be on. Kind of like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it solves.
I see.
Yeah, this will be for your guys' eyes only. The viewers won't see this because just respect the privacy of the creator.
Got it.
Yeah.
Neat. All right.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about the matchup I love so much.
No, this is really cool. I think there's a lot of really interesting elements to this fight. Honestly, every aspect of it. Like,
it's definitely one that I think would. It could get very tricky, very heavy. Yeah. And I love matchups that provide, so many different like paths and trails and opportunities like that, because there's so much to explore with it, and it can have like not just a really creative animation, but also a really creative sort of exploration of the characters and analysis of the characters. And I love stuff like that. So this seems like a matchup that's right up my alley. To be frank, I'm looking forward to talking about it on cast, because we'll definitely dive into these characters and learn a lot about them, because obviously they're very complex. So really cool idea. Love that.
And the episode will be sponsored by BetterHelp. We'll see. No,
I'm not even lying. Sam and Liam said the exact same thing.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
So there's the email in the chat. I think it's the same email that you've already been sending stuff to. DeathBattleKS@gmail.com if you want to send that presentation, because that looks fantastic. I'd love to check on that again. Thank you so much, man. For both the support on the Kickstarter and for the incredible presentation and matchup idea. I love that.
Thank you for being so supportive of the matchup. I'm glad you guys like it. It makes me very
of course.
It's great. It's really cool.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it on cast. That's gonna be great. The debate's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun. I feel like a lot of it will be us finding out more about these two series. Like part of this is just gonna be like, so wait, Room Space is what is it called? Is it what Headspace? Is it pronounced Boyvert?
It's like a French word. It's like Boyvert, but like there's no
Boyvert. Okay. Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
I just say Boyvert. It's easier to say.
Boyvert.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be the first thing on cast. We'll figure out how to pronounce it. And then...
Yeah. Basically, all I say
we'll have a pull up and everything.
Good luck with Room. That's all I'll say about that.
Awesome.